At some point quite a while ago, I found out a truth that kind of blew my mind. That approximately a third, sometimes more, sometimes less, of your life is asleep. So if you're 30 years old, you've slept 10 years of your life. Now, the importance of sleep cannot be denied in so many different aspects. For resting the body, revitalization, is that a real word? I think so. But also the dream world, the world of the unconscious, the world that is dark a lot. Some people may have happy dreams all the time, dreams that are fun and, you know, joyful. Maybe they're lucid dreamers. I just talked to somebody recently that said they can plan what they want to dream before they go to sleep every night and dream whatever they want, and it didn't sound real. It's almost like a way to avoid what's really there. So on this topic, I don't remember my dreams very clearly unless I'm 100% sober. And then I'll have these really vivid dreams, but not every night. Now, what I want to talk about is the symbolism in dreams. I'm really interested, and it's something I've been interested in my whole life. In fact, I remember getting dream books, related books from the library, I don't know, when I was like 16 or 17. And I wish I would remember what my dreams were back then. Maybe I wrote them down and they're in some journals somewhere in storage. I don't know. But the level of symbolism in dreams is becoming very fascinating to me. So I would find it most likely something that happens with a lot of people. You have dreams that are so out of this world and out of the ordinary, they don't make sense, and they're maybe dark, and you want to forget them because they're like bloody or just crazy things happening that you would never imagine ever. Well, there is a involuntary world going on there of the unconscious, and you have to look at that and go, it's not me, you know, planning out this nightly cinema that's sometimes horrific. Sometimes it's not. Like last night I had a dream that had to do with songs, had to do with like music, and it wasn't horrific, but at times it's very scary. Things going on, you know. You gotta wonder, where does that come from? And there's a lot of symbolism. And a lot of the symbolism has been researched for a really long, for years and years and years and years. So I would love to hear if anybody wants to share dreams in detail, either privately, or you could even post it on a thread if you want. But be very honest and as clear as possible. So I'm recording this a little bit after I recorded the first part of this video that you just watched. But I want to tell you a little bit more what just happened related to my dream. So when I recorded the first part of this video, I hadn't researched. Okay, so very specifically, one band, I don't remember the song that this person was playing for me, which I liked for some reason, was called The Disturbed. Now, when I woke up, I remembered that The Disturbed was a real band, and I haven't been a fan of The Disturbed from what I've heard. I mean, to me, it's just kind of like polished, new, heavy rock metal that's, not that interesting to me. But when I put in The Disturbed into a search, The Sound of Silence came up. Now, instantly, that reflected to be some kind of subconscious importance for whatever reason. And I realized that song was a song that I've heard that version Disturbed did, and I thought it was interesting, but I didn't think it was that great. Personally, I thought it was like interesting how it builds, and by the end, he's like, screaming, singing, The Sound of Silence. So, anyway, but what what kept like poking me is that I need to read the lyrics. So when I read the lyrics to The Sound of Silence, I realized it's totally about dreams, and it's about the unconscious, and about I have it right in front of me right now. I can just read it to you. I know it's like, some of you have heard it your whole, it's a extremely famous song by Simon and Garfunkel. I've heard it my whole life, pretty much, and I've always loved that song too. But it seems like I know a lot of the lyrics, but really taking the lyrics in, it resonates with. See, it resonates with a feeling like, it's interesting, like disturbed, waking up disturbed. I wake up disturbed. Like, there's a disturbed feeling from dreams quite often. And some of you may feel the same way. You wake up and it's like, God, that's a disturbing dream. So it's interesting that disturbed is in there, because that's one perfect word to explain how I feel in the morning, like half the time. But then to take me to these lyrics that are all about, right in line with really something that's interested me my whole life, and that's very powerful, and I'm extremely intrigued and fascinated by, is the whole world of the collective unconscious, the subconscious, and how those affect our waking reality. So on that note, I'll read Sound of Silence to you real quick. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. 'Neath the halo of a street lamp I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening. So heavy right there, those lines. People writing songs that voices never share, and no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools said, I do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said, "The words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence." So those lyrics will now mean more to me than they ever have. And it was all within taking a few moments to see where my dream led me. So even the little bit that I remembered, I wish I remembered more. I think I drank too much beer last night, yesterday, or whatever. But this is where it took me, you know. So I think in the state of dreaming, when you wake up and you want to just shrug off your dream, take a second, write it down, and look up the symbolism. Look up things, especially if there's animals, if there's like all kinds of different symbolism, you know. Because it doesn't mean what is in your face with it. It's something different. And you can find out what it means. To me, I can write about this now. I can write about this whole dream sequence and what happened and how I feel about it, you know. I kind of took it to its own conclusion, in a sense. One conclusion. It's like a mirror, you know. It's like a reflection. It's like my subconscious is part of me, but yet it's separate, and I don't ever fully recognize it, but it can speak to me, you know. And in a way, that's kind of what happened. Anyway, share your dreams. If you guys want to email me, that's cool. And if, you know, if I read something I'm really blown away, or there's something I want to share based on your dreams that you guys share, maybe do this though. If you're going to write down a dream that you had and you're going to share it, don't read anybody else's dream first. This is why. Because you share your dream, write down your dream in detail, and if you share it on the thread for this video, then after you write it down and share it, look at what other people wrote. See if there's any other dreams. And you might even see like interesting some symbolism between your dream and somebody else's dream. Like things that, you know, that pop up. I mean, just conversations between myself and a friend, I've seen there's similarities that pop up, things that come up in dreams. But anyway, alright, hope you guys are doing good, and just remember, even the scariest, darkest dreams that seem to have nothing in common with your own self may share secrets with you in the end that you can use to, in one way or another, to enlighten or gain knowledge in your own life. Okay, thanks, bye.